Dustin Brown gave the greatest ever serve volley performance at Wimbledon. Debatable. I'm going to give you my top 5 rackets, not debatable. Today I'm going to be taking you through my top 5 rackets for serve and volleying. Now, you may be thinking, what sort of rackets are right for serve and volleying? And you'd be right to think that. And there are 2 main schools of thought. I'm going to explain them both, and then you'll understand why in my top 5 there's a couple of different styles of rackets. So if we think classic serve volley, traditional serve volley, we need touch, feel, guile, manoeuvrability, thin beams, flex. We need to have that first volley when it's low off our toes, be able to chip it around, drop volleys, touch, feel around the court. So obviously that implies we need something that's head light, more manoeuvrable, thinner beam for a bit more flex, probably a smaller head, a bit more touch, feel and control. But then of course you have the modern game. You have big, powerful first serves, big, powerful put-away volleys, and we need to be able to have rackets that can do that too. So do we have a big, brash, fast game where we're punching the ball away with power, or do we serve volley with a bit of touch and feel and guide around the court? Or maybe we need a racket that can do a bit of both depending on situation. Maybe chip charging on return is different to coming in behind a big, powerful first serve. So there you have it. I shall explain as I go through my top 5 which one kind of fits in which category and why I have it there. But let's get into it, starting with number 5. At number 5 on my list is a Prestige, and I had to really think very carefully about which specific model I was going to choose, and I've gone with the MP. Now, the Prestige MP is 310 grams, it's an 18-19 string pattern, and it's a 99 square inch head. So you start to probably thinking like, oh, which category of serve volleyer is Josh really thinking about? And I'm thinking slightly more towards the classical dance, but not fully. So we're not on full classical serve volley, but we're pretty close. If I'd gone pro, then I think it would be too much. So the benefits of this, obviously at 310 grams, you've got some weight behind your volley, you've got some stability, which is really important, but you have that classical control and feel that you get from the Prestige. Where it lets you down a bit, and which is why it's at number 5, is you don't get that huge pop on serve, which in the modern serve volley game, you need. So if I've nailed the serve, and then I'm getting those low volleys back around the service line, then this Prestige MP, super manoeuvrable and very fun and enjoyable to sort of work with it in that part of the court. Obviously, not going to be super stiff to punch balls away, but if we're using touch, feel and angles, more classical, then the Prestige MP is going to be a great option for you old school serve volleyers out there. At number 4 on my list is another racket from Head. It's quite head heavy, which is ironic because we want a headlight racket. It is the Radical Pro. Now, what does the Radical stand for? Complete all-court versatility, an all-court game, which obviously includes serve volleying. So this is one that's in there for those of you that want to throw some serve and volley in, but not do it all the time. To remind you, the Head Radical Pro comes in at 315 grams. It has a 98 square inch head and a 16-19 string pattern. That smaller head that you get in the Radical is obviously going to help with some control, which we need for those volleys, but we still have a nice amount of weight and it's head light. The 315 balance point allows more manoeuvrability, which is super important when you're approaching the net, so you have that flexibility. But you still have that sort of plow through power from the back of the court, which is why it's more of an all-court racket, but one that you can certainly serve and volley with. But as a not strictly serve and volley weapon, it only makes it to number 4 on my list. At number 3 on my list is, see you Dustin, I need space. It's the same brand of racket that Dustin was using there. He was using the old Aero Pro. It is the new Pure Drive 98. So I am a Pure Drive user in the 100. The problem with the 100, whilst great for real punchy serve volleying, not so great on the more subtlety and more control aspects. You get very little feel. And when you need those little soft little dinks around the net, chiseling those little volleys out, the Pure Drive 100 are very difficult to tame. In the 98, much more user-friendly, much easier to do so, but you don't lose too much on the big power game. So this, I'm thinking you are smacking first serves, you're smacking approach shots, low, fast, flat, coming in behind it, getting balls popped up and just popping them off the court, clean as a whistle, no touch, no angles, just pure power, meaty, solid. That is what the pure drive does. Works great in that style of serve and volley. Not so great for that classical ball off your toes, chipping it around. So you've got to make sure you're really creating pressure and impacting your opponent. But when you do, and you're going to stick that ball away, look no further than the pure drive. In this case, the pure drive 98. At number 2 on my list, as you can see, is from Yonex, and it is the Vcore 95. You may be thinking, Josh, a Vcore is a spin racket. What a ridiculous idea to put it in a top 5 for serve and volleying. But that 95 square inch head gives it incredible feel and control, and the isometric head from Yonex increases the sweet spot, thus allowing you that playability when putting volleys away. Now, the modern game, you can't just serve and volley, you need something else to help you out, and that is why I've gone for a Vcore, because whilst it gives you that ability to be controlled, you're going to need to use some topspin, you're going to need to whip the ball around to get in behind, you're going to need to play some shots from the baseline. This Vcore is lovely at that, but when you get up to the net, it's going to give you that flexibility, versatility, touch and feel to enable you to put volleys away, but it equally isn't a super narrow beam, flexible precision racket, so you still get some stiffness. So when we're punching the ball away with pace and power, the Vcore can still really help with that. And that is why, that's my justification, not that I need to justify myself to you, for why the Vcore 95 is number 2 on my list. The moment you have been waiting for, my number 1 racket for a modern serve-volleyer player. Now, unfortunately, the racket is so popular, we've sold out. We don't even have one. I don't even have one to show you. I don't even have a demo. So I have one from its family, its bigger brother, the Eone 100. So the racket I'm actually talking about is the Eone 98. This 100 is mental. It's so much power that I think it's too much for me to handle, which says a lot. That Eone 98 just subtles it down a little bit, which gives you that ability to control the ball, but you can absolutely pop the ball around the court. Big serves, big first volleys, punchy, aggressive, power play, but because of that 98 square inch head, it just tames it a bit, which is why it beats the pure drive in this case, and why it beats everything else when it comes to serve volleying. We can't talk about the new Eone without talking about Millalon. The bagworms in the throat, it changed the feel, it has changed the game for feel of tennis rackets. And the softness on impact, again, if you're serve volleying and you get it wrong, the ball's pinged at you, to be able to slow the ball down, drop volleys and touch, it's something that you can't often do with power frames, but you can do it with the Eone, especially the 98. And it is this combination of being able to defend at the net with manoeuvrability, be able to attack with big first serves and big shots in the back of the court, and then punch and put balls away when you get up to the net, which is why I think it's a great option for you serve volleyers, and one that has been so popular with sort of club standard doubles players who are playing lots of doubles and want something they can serve big with, put balls away with, but also have to defend at the net and return and deal with other aspects as well. So it really is great for the whole court game. But when it comes to serve volleying, in my mind, you'd be hard pushed in a modern way to look past the Eone 98. So there you have it, my top 5 serve volleying rackets. We started with the Prestige, and we moved through the Radical, the Pure Drive, the Vcore 95, and we finished with the Eone 98. Can you edit that out, Joe? Blend that to 98, I don't know. So serve and volleying all starts with big shots, especially big serves. And aren't you in for a treat, because we, as a team of coaches, have developed our very own Serve Faster course. This is everything myself, Ben and Joe have ever learnt, used with clients, seen other coaches use, all the best bits, all the best concepts we've ever seen in one course. So you'll be able to pick and choose different sections to make your serve faster, to make your serve volley even better. So check that out in the description. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you are a serve volleyer, look forward to Queens, look forward to Wimbledon,
We will see you very soon, and make sure you try the Eone 98.